electorate, I just plead that this time around, don't eat rice or take Ankara and mortgage the future of your children. Because if they give you money now, after a month, the money is gone and you won't see them for the next 4 years. And they will not come back to do anything for you. So the suffering continues. So we should look for the candidates that have the love of the people. You should test them, you talk to them, screen them before you make your choice. Not the man with the deep pocket. God loves the man with the clean hands than the one with full hands.
Welcome to the platform. My name remains Olutola da Silva. And with me on today's program is...
My name is Ambassador Olutola John Onijala. I'm a retired career ambassador, a diplomat, and I'm from Ishin local government, Ola, and that's Kwara South. Yes, Ibumina.
Yes, there is this belief that a body sometimes known as Kwara South Vision was born, and that you are actively involved in that body. What's this body meant to do?
Well, prior to the Kwara South Vision, in 2018, we started the New Dawn, and we had very knowledgeable people of like minds, determined to see a change in the socio-cultural, economic sphere of Kwara South. We were getting on fine before the elections in 2019. The vision is to change the mindset of the people towards politics, to let them see that it is necessary we have good governance. There are so many things good governance will bring to the people, which hitherto are lacking, because they are deprived of the dividend of democracy, like we will say in Nigeria. So that's the vision, that we have to interact, we have to get people together and see how we can work as a team to see that we bring development to Kwara South. Because the state at which we are now is very deplorable and unacceptable. And that's the main plank of the vision.
All right, sir. Politics. It has gone beyond this Kwara South vision that we're talking about. You are not actively in politics. You are in which of the political parties?
I'm in the Accord Party. Accord Party.
Okay.
Yes.
Any aspiration of them?
Well, I've been affirmed as the senatorial candidate for the party for the 2023 elections into the Senate.
Okay. And
how prepared are you for the office?
How prepared?
yeah.
I'm more than prepared. If you look at my pedigree, look at my background, as an ambassador, I should be knowledgeable enough about laws, about development, about politics, because it's all encompassing in diplomacy. So I don't think I will be a nitwit. I will be a newcomer into that kind of arena. Mm-hmm.
Now you talk of pedigree and background now. Can you let us into that?
Well, I started my diplomatic career in 1981, and I rose through the ranks to become a foreign service officer, grade level 17. That's a director. As a director, I headed several departments. I headed in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yes, I headed the East and Central African Division. Then later, I was moved to the Regions Department. Regions Department is the largest political department in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's all the countries of the world that we have relations with the exception of African countries. So I was the director. From that position, I was appointed the chief of protocol in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And that same year that I was appointed chief of protocol, I was appointed state chief of protocol to the president. So I had to move from the ministry to the villa. Jonathan, good luck, Jonathan. So I had to move from the ministry to the villa. It was from there I retired in 2013 as the state chief of protocol. I've been around the world. I've gone to more than 60 countries of the world.
60?
More than 60 countries of the world. Some, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Britain, name it. Pakistan, South Korea, Brazil, Morocco, Egypt, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya. I've been to Turkey, I've been to Malawi, I've been to Botswana, all over. I've been all over the world. So,
all right, sir. Correct it. There will be a difference between diplomacy and lawmaking, because as far as I know, diplomats are not used to talking all the time. They talk only when it is necessary. But as a lawmaker, you have to prove effective representation of your people. And sometimes, if need be, you have to get radical about it. How do you match the two offices?
I don't see any difficulty in that. I participated effectively in the formulation and implementation of Nigeria's foreign policy. And you know that in the National Assembly, they have a foreign policy committee. And apart from that, what is law? Anybody who has gone to school, who can read to a certain extent, who has a degree, should be able to follow within 2 weeks or 1 month. You should be able to learn the ropes. You should be able to walk the ropes at the National Assembly. And talking, as a diplomat, we are trained to represent our country. It needs talking. It needs research. It needs gathering information here and there. And to pass a law, there is a process, there is a procedure which obtains in the Foreign Service also. All these memoranda that we sign with countries, all these protocols, all these agreements that we sign with other countries are written by us in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So we are used to writing all this stuff. So it won't be strange to me. And the negotiation, we've participated in many meetings, both bilateral and multilateral, where negotiations are made about or where protocols are signed. So we participated for 33 years in the Foreign Service. I don't think I'll be a numbskull at the National Assembly.
Certainly, you won't be.
Okay, coming back to the choice of the political party.
Yes.
You mentioned Accord Party. Why the choice of the Accord Party? Do you think with the Accord Party you can achieve your dream?
Well, I wish I could look at the seed of time and tell you which one will germinate and which won't germinate. That's what Shakespeare said. In life, people always look at the challenges in instead of looking at the opportunities in a given situation. They look at the challenges there. I'm an optimist. I'm a fatalist. I believe that what God has written up there is written here. If I'm destined to get there, I will get there with the help of God. But I'm not looking at the mountain. There is this tendency that if you are not in PDP or in APC, you can't get anywhere. It shows that we are very pessimistic. We are not push. We are not dynamic. It's more in other climes. It's more party with good ideas, good manifesto can defeat a big party. And what makes a big party is the people.
Yeah.
So a small party with a very good message that resonates with the people should be able to win elections. So that's my view, that it's not supposed to be big all the time. It's not the They say it's not the size of the dog that matters in a fight, but it's the size of the fight in the dog. So we can be small, but we have ideas, we have principles, we have a vision that we want to share with the people. And I'm sure that that message is going to resonate better than what the big parties are going to offer us. They've been there for 20 years now, but what has become of us? So it's like big for nothing.
Okay, you have expressed so much confidence and optimism about winning. How close are you to the grassroots, and how confident are they in your representation of us?
By your assessment of people.
Yeah.
I started going around since last year, exactly April 4, because I was with the PDP. And we went around all the 7 local governments of Kwara South. And I was impressed by the reaction of the people to me. They saw in me a different person, a politician who is not practicing politics the way they are used to. They listened to my message, listened to the vision that I have, and they are convinced about my sincerity. They are impressed about my exposure. They are impressed about my knowledge. And even in the PDP, for example, when I was contesting for the Senate, my local government adopted me as their sole candidate because they felt that I would be able to represent them well. So I can say I'm popular at the grassroots, at least in all the 7 local governments of Kwara South. There's no way I get that the mass of the people won't turn out to meet me.
There's even a kind of a silent revolution now, that the new trend will be to the extent that people will want to vote for persons and not parties. Are you saying this is a conformity with your party, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, in the past, we have this conveyor belt system of choosing our representatives because it's APC. APC is big, PDP is big, so any jackass that they bring, excuse my language, will win because it's a big party. Nobody cares about his pedigree, nobody cares about his track record, nobody asks him about his vision, how does he want to achieve his vision. They don't ask him. It comes with now it's dollarized. Before it used to be naira. Everything is now dollarized. And they dole out all this, dole out rice, dole out spaghetti, very nauseating things that they do, sharing things to induce voters. And I think that is very wrong. In civilized countries, if you do that, you go to jail. Tell the people, sell your vision to the people. Tell them how you can achieve that. Tell them what you can do. Let them trust you. I don't need to buy you Ankara, for example, or give you money for you to vote for me. And when they do that, when the man gets there, he owes nothing to them. He owes them nothing. Because he has traded, he has bought that seat, and he has used you, he's going to dump you. He doesn't need you again because you are not the one sending him there. He has bought that position. And that's what has been on. So I think we should change that. If any party puts down any candidate, who is he? What's his pedigree? What's his background? What's his track record? What's his vision? Let him explain it. How is he planning to achieve all these things he says he's going to do? But if I just come, I go to the bank and borrow some millions or sell my properties to be able to spray money and induce people and become popular so that they can vote for me, if eventually I win, when I get to the house, the first thing I will do is to recoup these expenses because I have to pay the bank back. I have to build another house that I sold. So that's why I said, if we continue like this, the future is very bleak, especially for the youth. Because every 4 years, politicians will come, they will dole out money, they will spread, they will give 3 cups or 4 cups of rice, some spag, they call it, I think it's spaghetti, that's what they mean, Maggi, and all that stuff. And because of the hunger in the land, and who caused the hunger in the first place? It's the bad governance that caused the hunger. So, and I think that some of our leaders intend to keep us as such, so that every 4 years they can come and dominate the space, dominate our senses, dominate us, and it will go on like that, and they will pass the money that they have to their own children too. Because if you don't have money, you cannot aspire to be anything. They will pass the money to their own children, their children will come and dominate us and dominate their children. So it's a vicious cycle. If the people cannot say enough is enough, enough of all this money politics, enough of all this nonsense, let's know you. Tell us what you want to do. How are you going to do it? Can we trust you? I think that's what matters in this race that we are about to go into. Not because somebody is from APC or because of PDP. It's not about party. Who is PDP putting down? Who is APC putting down? Who is Accord Party putting down? Just oppose them, interview them, screen them, and see what they have, the stuff they are made of. Instead of just saying, oh, it's PDP, power, the people. Which people, which power? We've been in this for 20-something years now, and the level of development is lamentable, very lamentable. You can imagine me having seen the world, knowing what obtains in other countries, small countries, countries that are bigger than Nigeria, countries that are not up to Nigeria, what they are doing with their intellect, with the resources God has given them. You'll be ashamed to call yourself a Nigerian. And that's why today you go abroad, when they see your green passport, they want to put a comb through you. Because the first thing they know, this is a 419, this is a crook. That's the state that we are in, that we need to correct. If not, our children won't forgive us. The youth won't forgive us. And it's dangerous. The level of insecurity will continue to rise. You can imagine the thousands of graduates on the streets. You go to school, you graduate, 5 years, no job. You can imagine the depression that will set in. Somebody was telling me that his son graduated with a good grade in economics. But 3 years now, going to 4, no jobs, no job. And he said the boy started going out, now coming late, hanging out with bad people. That one day he even discovered that he put his money somewhere and the boy stole it. The man was weeping. He said a boy he brought up in the best, I mean, for him to be stealing, to be hanging out with. I said, no, we have not seen anything yet. If it continues like that, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder. It will explode one day, because this youth won't take it any longer. So the right time for us now is to change the narrative. There must be good governance. Government should be able to provide the enabling environment. Government can't give all the jobs, but when you create the enabling environment, individuals can come up and establish small, medium enterprises where our youth can go and work. You can establish farms. We can bring mechanized farms. All these low-hanging areas of the economy, hospitality, tourism. These are things we can do quickly. Within 1 year, you can employ so many thousands of youth before you now start thinking of heavy industries. But there are so many quick things you can do so that these young graduates can get jobs. If we don't do that, it's dangerous for the country.
Yes, sir. Coming back to going to the Senate now, what are the kind of laws or bills you want to bring forward to the National Assembly that will be of benefit to your people in your constituency and to the states as a whole?
When I get there, definitely I'm going to make sure that we contribute in a very robust manner to bills that will be anthropocentric, like we say, that will be people-centered. when you start talking about bills on all these things that people cannot hold, I just laugh. Why can't you pass bills that will affect health, that will impact on education, that will impact on good roads? How many laws have they passed on this insecurity? All you hear is today they are inviting the IGP, or they are inviting the... What laws have they passed that will make government tackle this insecurity that we have? What laws have they passed on ASU? ASU has been on strike for how many months now? What laws do we have in place that will control the educational system, the sector? The same thing with health. Go everywhere now. I don't see any hospital around Kwara South. Let me limit it to my Kwara South. I remember I went to one hospital and they told me that that's the best hospital in that town. And I started laughing. I said, why are you? I said, in Europe or in America, they won't even take their pigs to this hospital. They won't even allow it to function. And this is the best hospital here. These things make you sad. You go to some countries and you see roads that are 12 lanes and no single pothole. But are there roads in Nigeria? What bills are they passing to make life comfortable for the common man? What? I don't see it. All you hear is they pass trillions of naira, and there is no light, there is no security, there is no education, no hospitals. So these are the things, these are the areas we are going to look into and pass laws that these people in the pursuit of happiness will be able to get what they want, at least live as human beings. I always tell my friends that I look at us, and at times in my I won't call it desperate, in my disappointment, I always tell them that I don't believe that we are yet human beings. That we are between chimpanzees and human beings. Because if we are human beings, they won't be treating us this way. We won't be accepting the kind of government they give us. In many countries, there are so many things that happen here. If it happens elsewhere, the country will be in flames. So I don't know, but I pray that God will send people of like minds, people who love the people, who want to lift the people out of poverty, who wants to make their lives better. And I'm sure that with what I'm seeing all over across the states, that we may get there someday. And that's my belief.
Thank you, sir. So coming back to your ambition, and how much have you contributed to your community and the constituency as a whole?
They always ask me this question, and at times I just laugh because they hear the word ambassador. They believe that I have stolen all the money in the world. They believe that I have all the dollar in the world, and that I must be doing it, I must be spraying it. No. An ambassador is a civil servant who is on salary. So what do you do as an ambassador? You can do the little that you can within the limits of your income. But even as at that, I remember when I was even a level 14 officer, from my little savings, I awarded about 7 or 8 scholarships to university students, and I paid for 4 years. I was even giving them more money than what government was giving them. And even later years, I gave people going in the polytechnics, people in the universities, scholarships, paying more than what government is paying. And when I retired, what do I do for the community? I'm not a money bag, but there are some things I can do to help them. So I started the mechanized farm in my community. And in fact, one day, one elder in the town was telling me, he said, "Ambassador, you are the richest man in this town." I said, "Why? How?" He said, when he sits down and he sees the people going to work on that farm, that is happy. That at least every day these people get something to eat, they get a living. And it makes me happy too, that at least people will wake up in the morning and say, "God bless this ambassador." for paying us this salary. That's the little. I've not stolen money. I will not steal money, and I won't do more than what my capacity can carry. But within the context of what I have, on a daily basis, the request that you have, people who have gone to hospital who have no money to pay, they want you to help. People who cannot pay school fees for their wards, they want you to help on a daily basis. At times I'm just choked, but I won't do more than what I can do, because I have not stolen money, and I won't steal money because of anything.
I fear a situation, maybe of some inhibitions here. You are coming from this decent background. You are going to a system that will be on for about 30 years, like Riley said. People have been there, and they are very large in number. Maybe you are one. You have just prayed that people would like moments, pray to meet them there. In the event that you just find yourself in the midst of all this, and you are focused, you have your own agenda, you have your own mindset towards certain things, how do you think you can cope with this kind of situation?
Well, we have what we call the lone voice in the wilderness. The lone voice. You can stand to be something. Some people want to be someone. Some people want to accomplish something. That's, the world is divided into two. Those who want to become someone, those who want to accomplish something.
Try to make the mark.
So I think I belong to the class of people who want to accomplish something, not to become someone. As an ambassador, I think God has blessed me. He has shown me great mercies, and I think I'm okay with that. But for me to be able to accomplish something, to help the people, I need their money. The money they give the people, which most of our people are pocketing. I intend to use that money to bring development to Kwara South. Kwara South is my constituency, not Nigeria. So from what I will be able to get from the constituency allowances, from whatever, and I bring it back to Kwara South, I'm not pocketing it. I'm not building houses again or buying cars or whatever. You use that money for them. And with the political will power that I have now, with what I have as a diplomat, as an ambassador, I should be able to attract investments into Kwara South. So you can stand to be a Daniel, you can stand to be alone. Let the people know what to stand for. You are focused, you know what you want to do. When you are there, they give them slots, I know. They give them slots. If there is no Godfather taking all these things from me, if there's no Godfather taking this money from me, the money should be enough to make an impact in Kwara South, which is my senatorial district. I've heard that many people who have gone there, when they get the constituency money, it doesn't belong to them, it belongs to somebody else, a Godfather that put them there. And that shouldn't be. I don't have any Godfather apart from God.
Your constituency, like another one like it across Nigeria, I think there is this issue that a senatorial constituency, in most cases, are made up of different group of people. Like your constituency, for instance, we have the Ekitis, we have the Bolos, we have the Luminous. So, and that in some cases, the balance is not strike, it's not struck. To the extent that you discover that a section of a constituency as the one that are benefiting more, especially when the other people get there, they just shut out the other constituency. Do you foresee a similar behavior of that?
No, I don't. If you're open-minded, and I don't think I'm going to play, if I have 7 local governments that make up my constituency, I don't see why I have to concentrate attention on Ishin local government, for example, which is my own, or the Buminas. No, it shouldn't be. I'm representing Kwara South, and whatever I get will be spread among the people without discrimination at all. I mean, that is my constituency, and I don't have to discriminate. Why should I discriminate? They voted for me in the first place, because my local government alone cannot get me the Senate seat. So it has to go around. Whatever projects we are going to bring must be spread. It should go around some local government.
All right, talking specifics now. You must have observed talking about the areas of infrastructures. You must have observed certain areas where the infrastructures in place are not up to expectations, or maybe more than expectations. Which ones have you identified that you think needs urgent attention and make it spread, like you said?
Sincerely, when you talk of infrastructure, especially in Kwara South, because I've asked people, as maybe I'm blind, what government presence do you have here? All you see is old hospitals that were built in the 60s or in the 70s are being repainted. Schools roofs are being repainted. Schools that were built in the 60s or in the 70s. Like, I have not seen any factory in Kwara South that belongs to the government or that any senator has brought, either small or medium. I've not seen any. I've not seen any road. Is there any road here? I can't see any. So when you talk of infrastructure, I think it's zero. Zero. I've not seen any. I was telling some people that we were really very lucky during the corona pandemic. If the thing had struck, it will have wiped us off.
Kwara South?
In Nigeria, not even Kwara South. It will have wiped us, because where are the hospitals? Where are the clinics? Where are the doctors? They're not there. We were just lucky. My daughter fell sick, and I took her to a hospital in Abuja, owned by an international body, by a foreign country. And when I got to the hospital, I was telling my wife, I said, now look at this hospital, it's like you are in a 5-star hotel. And these same government top officials bring their children to this hospital and they see it. With the trillions that people are putting in their pockets and the billions we are spreading like that, why can't the federal government, even state government, have this kind of hospital in the 774 local governments that we have in Nigeria? Is it too much? Will that be too many? With the resources coming to this country. But when they are sick, they go abroad. They don't care. That's why Nigerians have taken concussions. These are the things that make me sad. Having seen the world, knowing what obtains elsewhere. Good. If government has given good governance and they have provided medicine, they have provided, you go to some hospitals in the US, for example, and at times you just see that even a dog has more worth than some of us here, the way they take care of them. So these are the things that worry me. Why are we not getting these things done? Those who do it elsewhere are not angels. They are not better than us. They are not more brilliant than us. But because they have a passion, they have the love of the people, that let them leave a legacy. When you go, people will talk about you. That during this time, this hospital was brought, this factory was brought, that road was constructed, that bridge was built. These are the things I want to do. Accomplish something. And see that those coming behind us, the young ones that will take over, we are not young again. We are supposed to be resting with our grandchildren. But because of that love, that you can go, show the change, lay the foundation so that others can come and build on it. And there is one thing, when I'm senator, by the grace of God, I have to work with the 2 members of the House of Representatives, because I have observed over time that we elect the 3 of them in Kwara South, for example, and you can never see them meeting, calling for a meeting, to interface, to strategize, to plan. So what can we build, what can we bring to Kwara South? I've not seen any meeting called by these 3 representatives. This one is distributing clippers. That one is distributing rice. That one is digging wells. That one is distributing cars. And I love all this money. The three of you can pull these resources together, isn't it? And establish a factory. There are some factories, small, that we establish, that will employ 50, 100 people. So if you scatter that all over the place, the youth will be engaged. And it has that, what do you call it, effect, that spiral, whatever, ripple effect. If there is an industry here, the women will come and sell food to the workers, sell coke, sell water. The washerman will come, the barber will come. If you go to Dangote, the number of jobs that are attached to that industry alone, you can't believe, you can't imagine it. So why can't we point to one in Kwara State? I've not seen one. I've not. So we need good governance. We need people who have vision, who have seen it, who can do it. That's my own.
Your final word.
Okay.
To the electorate. To
the electorate, I just plead that this time around, don't eat rice or take Ankara and mortgage the future of your children. Because if they give you money now, after a month, the money is gone and you won't see them for the next 4 years. And they will not come back to do anything for you. So the suffering continues. So we should look for the candidates that have the love of the people. You should test them, you talk to them, screen them before you make your choice. Not the man with the deep pocket. God loves the man with the clean hands than the one with full hands. That's my last word.
Thank you very much.